Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is going to be my update and my progress throughout Armies on Parade this year. So this year I decided that I'm going to do Armies on Parade, and I chose goblins for Age of Sigmar. Little tiny goblins. And I did this because I've got a ton of them. In this box, I have 250 little goblin spearmen. And rather than, selling, trading them away, I wanted to paint them. I wanted that huge, just sea of little goblins running up the board. I don't really play too much of Age of Sigmar, but there's a lot of campaigns and custom missions that some friends wanted to do. Little survival games of, you have a little encampment with a couple units and then you get swarmed by goblins and you just keep getting swarmed by more and more. And we thought, having a ton of goblin spearmen would be really good for that. So I kept them, had them primed, just finished putting the textured bases on them recently, and I wanted to do goblins. But my love is not for goblins. I love squigs. So the army I'm going to be playing is going to be squig themed. So I've got regular squigs, squig hoppers, Boingrot bounders, loon boss on cave squig, and mangler squigs. So I got lots of those. So I decided, why not do a display board showcasing the squigs and also introduce the goblins. So the goblins aren't really part of the list. They are, however, part of the display board. So I've got this very crude drawing here. So this will be a top view of the whole board. See if I can get that a little better for you. So top view. So up here, right in the center, that is going to be the Loon Shrine, and it's going to be up on kind of like a cliff with the Loon Shrine being there. And then there's going to be a winding little road that comes down. So it'll be like, won't look like that obviously, but it's going to start here and just kind of go this way a bit, down, this way a bit, down, this way, until it reaches the bottom. Coming from that is just going to be the 250 little goblin spearmen. They're just going to fill out all this area. And then beside them, over here, there's going to be a Mega Gargant that is goblin themed. So I'm going to, got my Mega Gargant, and I'm going to give him the top part of a goblin hat, which looks, if I can find one, like this. Focus. So this is a goblin head with his really long hat full of spikes. Some of them have bones, some of them have all kinds of things. So he is going to have one of these hats to make him more themed to the army. Then on this side up here, there's going to be almost like a tree, and it's going to be squig based. I'll get more to that in a second. And then popping up from here are going to be mushrooms. Excuse my drawing, it's really far away from me, and this is all rough sketches. The ground is also going to be on an angle, so it's going to go like that, kind of like that, and then up here, that'll be the pathway, just so that when you look at it this way or head on, the goblins are kind of going down a hill. This won't be that big, but it'll allow you to see more goblins as you go back. So instead of looking straight at it and only seeing the front goblins and everyone being the same height behind them, it'll give depth to it. But in here, there'll be all kinds of mushroom tops, and they'll all be on the same level as the little like stone cliff, and then on each of those mushrooms there's going to be all the squigs. So there'll be the mangler squigs, the regular squigs, the Boingrot bounders, maybe some magic users if I get them done, and they're just going to be on top of the mushrooms bouncing along. So when you look at it from straight going this way or coming in this way, you'll see all the little goblins down here, all the squigs here, and then back here you'll see the loon shrine, the giant, and if I finish any trolls or smaller giants, I have the what is now known as the small giant. Anything I finish in addition to the squigs will be kind of back there. The main focus is the squigs. I want to build, the army I'm going to play with. Whether it wins, lose, I don't care. I'm not really into Age of Sigmar as far as gaming. I just love goblins and squigs. I've had them for years. Going through boxes, I found some metal pewter squigs from when I started playing, and some really old squigs from before I started playing, that's for sure. And they look really cool. So I've always loved squigs, so I went with the squig army. So I'm waiting for the book to come out, which should be later this year, and I will build a list from that. That will be the first thing I focus on for going on top of the mushrooms. And the goblins are my way of painting throughout the year. I want to get in the habit of painting 25 minutes a day, which so far has been going pretty good. And every week I want to finish 6. And then the first week of the month I want to finish 7. So 6 times 4 is 24. Then that 7th one gives me 25. And then when you do it for 10 months, that's 250. So when you break it down, it's pretty simple. I'm going to do something with the shields. I think I might go bright, really bright yellow. But yeah, the bases are simple. They're simple. They are just goblins. And once I'm thinking about doing mushrooms with different colors for determining the squads, so that when I do play, I'll have a couple squads that I can easily identify if they're next to each other. And that's pretty much the plan. Now, I was saying I was going to have a tree here. So in the novel Skarsnik he was the king of all the goblins. He was the king of the 8 peaks, which was the mountains that had 8 different mountaintops in one area, and that's kind of where they base camped. They fought the dwarves, they fought the Skaven, everyone tried to get them. The book was really good, but I won't get too much into that. But they talked about squigs when they're born being little, almost like grapes, coming off of a plant. And you could just pick them and eat them, or one of the bad guys was picking them and squishing them because he could. And that's actually how he saved Gobla, who remembered him and became his bodyguard or friend, or however you want to say that works. So I thought doing a squig tree. So having squigs in something that looks kind of like a grape, and then they're being like spawned out. And I thought that would be a really interesting concept that I haven't seen done before. I'm not 100% sure if it's lore accurate, but from what I read in the book, and there isn't too much online of how regular squigs are born, so going to do that. So I found just at the dollar store these little lights, little battery pack. I'll zoom out. So I'm going to have a bunch of these dangling down. They light up. And when you build the squig, don't have any nearby. But when you build the squigs, You can kind of see it here. Their faces are separate pieces and they come with lots of options. So I've got a whole bunch of extra squig faces. So I want to put the squig face in like an egg-shaped container, attach the light into it, cover up the back, green stuff it closed so you don't see the light, so that when the light is on, you see the faces shine out. And that's the general concept of how I want to do the squig tree. It's going to have kind of, not quite like a bunch of grapes, but as close to, a bunch of grapes as I can get it. Because that's how, I envision them based off the book. So with that, that's kind of what I'm doing. Right now I need to work on the color scheme for my basic squigs. Color scheme for night goblins are pretty simple. They're, you got your black cloaks, green skin, and you're pretty much done. So the squigs, however, I do not want red. I'm going to do them in a similar to my Tyranids. So, aha. So almost like a bone color. This model's been dropped and broken so many times. But kind of like a bone color and a green. But I want the green to go really bright, almost fluorescent. And then obviously the teeth are going to be bright white. Eyes will probably be glowing red. And yeah, so when I do the squig color scheme, there will be another update. These updates will probably only come once or twice a month, or when I accomplish something significant in the concept. So when I get the board cut, it's going to be, I think, 22 by 30 for inches, which is the regular Kill Team or Games Workshop board right now. And I think that's it for this video. So until next time.